We are live,
Should be
I
live.
believe. Let me check on my phone real quick just to make sure.
Always got to check on that phone. Got to make sure
Yeah,
audio's
yeah.
right.
I should have been pulled that up.
All right.
Okay, it's showing we're live on my phone, so I'm pretty. Okay, yeah, we're
All right.
live. We're live. Let me
There they
see.
go. There's all the people. I see all the people right now.
Yep. I'd like to welcome everybody to Start Your Day with CKJ. Good morning out there in crypto world. Guys, we got a very special guest on the show today, guys. We got BitBoy.
In the
BitBoy,
house.
BitBoy, I'd like to thank you big time for taking time out to come on the show. What's going on?
Not much, man. Just, another day in crypto world, A lot of the last couple of weeks have been pretty interesting, Maybe we're starting to feel like maybe the market sentiment's changing, People starting to feel good about crypto again. It's refreshing. It's been a while.
Yeah, actually, you're right about that. Right on the money. I tell you, as soon as them bulls start coming around a little bit, we have started seeing, like you said, a sentiment of change, and it's really exciting. It's really exciting. It's well overdue, as far as seeing some green in the market. I'm excited. I'm excited. That's for sure about that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Me too. It's been I don't know, when did you start your channel?
I started my channel probably, I'll say December 17. I mean, it
Yeah.
was roughly January, beginning of January. So I would say, maybe a year and 2 months I've been on now.
Yeah, man. So you caught the tail end of it then of the bull run.
Uh,
Probably when you started your channel, man. I didn't start my channel really. I didn't start doing daily videos till April.
okay.
So I started my channel in February, but it was mostly just like some funny videos and stuff like that. And so I've built this entire channel in the bear market, and
Wow.
it's been hard, man.
Wow.
I'm sure you can relate. I mean, you probably saw, like a lot of people who subscribe to people's channels during that bull run, like they're just not in crypto anymore. So,
Yeah.
hopefully they'll be coming on back.
Yeah. I think you're right on the money with that, too. One thing I did notice is there was like a 3 month difference there of, the differences. Because I know some content creators that started maybe October before me. And, they was there when the bull run took off. So they kind of like, there was a lot of people in the market then. And then,
Yeah.
like you said, pretty much after the bull run and then the bear market came along, a lot of weak hands started, siphoning out. So I understand what you're saying about trying to build a channel in the bear market. If you don't mind, real quick, Big Boy, let me just. Normally, I say hi to everybody when they first come in the stream.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
just want to see everybody that's here and what's going on. XRP Crypto Nation. Good morning, Crypto Nation. What you doing? Drink XRP Kool-Aid. Alex Montego, Fifth, Rito Paulino. Hello from New York. Shout out to New York. Crypto Don Juan, good to see you, bro. Alex Montego, Vincent Wilson. Carl, what's up, Carl? Good to see you, bro. George Hacker, Alex. Love them VWs. VWs. UFC. Wait, some up. XRP Angel. Carl, Mike Harris. Good morning, Mike. Good to see you. Brian Coffee, Aaron Wallace. He Hall is here. Aaron Wallace is going to be in Texas also.
Mm.
Yeah, I can't wait to Texas, guys. April 6th. CKJ is going to be there. BitBoy is going to be there. There's going to be a lot of people at this event, guys. And this is actually one of the main reasons I reached out to BitBoy because, from my understanding, he's going to be at the Texas event. And I felt it would be a real shame if, there's going to be other content creators there. It's an opportunity to meet a lot of good people that's on the same journey that we are as far as believing in digital currencies and, taking advantage of this life. I believe that cryptocurrencies is a life-changing opportunity. Like big time. But one more second. Josh, Sean, XRP Assets, Anthony Los, Crypto Kev, Jonas S, Jay Currency. What up, Jay? Jonathan, Mark UK, Butterfly, Angie. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, guys, we got a special guest on the show today, BitBoy.
Whoa.
So BitBoy, I've been watching your show lately. What do you say you basically, you do like top 5 or something like that?
Yeah, so I mean, I've done all kinds of stuff since I started the channel. But I mean, people kind of know me from my intros. I've got like pretty funny intros I do to my videos and stuff. So I recently started doing what what I found is I like doing news videos, but I would just like kind of wander and meander too much. And like one day I'd have 2 stories, next day I've had 3, whatever. So, I know there's some crypto news channels out there that cover like I'll use Crypto Zombie for example. If you want like every single story that's possibly going on in a day, you subscribe to Crypto Zombie because he'll have 20 stories in one video, and pack it in 20 minutes.
Wow.
So I wanted to like figure out what I could do for my niche, And so recently I was like, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this thing called Fresh 5. I made a little logo for it, and it's the top 5 crypto stories every single day. We do it Monday through Friday. Yesterday was the first day I missed. I had a lot going on, but
Okay.
yeah, so we do top 5 stories of the day. I try to pack it in into about 10 to 12 minutes. And so if you really want to know what's going on, you can come check it out and, get your crypto news fix for the day.
Wow, that's amazing, actually. And believe it or not, that's I also do the morning show, and I kind of started gearing towards what's going on in the world of crypto, because the thing is, it's like the thing is, I believe there's just so much opportunity in crypto, and that's why I've been like basically talking about different projects and just different things lately, just because I believe there's like I know I sound like a broken record, because it's what I believe, that there's just massive opportunity here. Like, I mean, far as investing, we're not financial advisors, but just different projects. We've seen, I mean, some of them, like, the prices were so low, and now like they 10 times, 20 times, and I just don't want to miss the opportunity to grasp one of these amazing investments. That's for sure. So top 5. Do you got any top 5 today you want to talk about? Or
let's hit it real quick. Let's hit top 5 stories of the day. So we'll start with number 5. I thought this story was really interesting. So a lot of you guys probably know about the Bitcoin ETFs. There's actually been 2 that have been submitted. VanEck is the one everybody's been talking about forever. I can't remember the name of the second one that just got submitted. But basically, anyways, the SEC has until April 1st for one of those and April 6th for the other one to make kind of like an initial decision on whether they're going to delay it or accept it. A lot of people think they may continue delaying that all the way to October. So that's like kind of the same song and dance we've been seeing for several months now, ever since, I guess, about July. This started. But the very interesting thing here is that Korea, which if you guys don't know, is one of the hotbeds for cryptocurrency. South Korea is super interested in it.
Okay.
The government has been, kind of against it for a long time, and the government's kind of moved into a neutral position. And what's very interesting is a lot of people believe that South Korea is waiting on the U.S. regulation from the SEC and the approval of Bitcoin ETF to base all of their regulation on it. So you got countries out there that are kind of hanging on, what we're going to do with our ETF right here. And so, we think it just impacts us here, maybe in the United States, but it might have a much larger global reach. So I thought that was definitely a pretty interesting story. What do you think about that?
Well, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. I actually did a little bit of research on that. I did an article on the ETFs, Bitcoin ETFs, about a couple of days ago. Actually, one thing that piqued my interest in there is the guy that's trying to get it approved. He basically said, okay, at first the market was a lot of hype, and now a lot of the hypers and weekends have been shook out, and he basically says now there's a lot more institutional investors in, and there's a lot of entities taking this more serious, and right now is the perfect. But I thought it was really weird how they said, okay, before it was just a lot of hype, but now we got like a lot of institutions in. It's kind of like saying, hey, our buddies are here now. Like, we're in position. We're ready to move forward. I mean, what do you think about the delay of the ETFs or Bitcoin ETFs anyway? I mean, do you think it's, manipulation to get... My belief is, I believe behind the scenes, the market's being flooded, manipulated, and controlled by these individuals until they get their friends in position or, their companies in position. And then when it gets approved, I believe there's going to be a massive bull run, or it's going to, give legitimacy to crypto. Do you think there's some manipulation going on behind ETFs, or you think they have a legitimate reason to delay them? Or...
Yeah. I mean, I do. Ultimately, I do believe that there is some of that going on. But I will say that what we're seeing with the ETF is not abnormal for ETFs in general.
Okay.
The copper ETF, right? Which copper is a precious metal. We all know what copper is. It's not really, it can't be manipulated unless somebody's going to somebody's house and stealing all the copper. I don't know. That's a thing that happens sometimes. But that actually, the copper ETF took 10 years to get approved.
Whoa.
Yeah. So shipping containers is another one that had kind of a weird, weird story. You can actually, there's a shipping container ETF, which is absolutely nuts.
Damn.
Yeah, but so what we're seeing with the Bitcoin ETF, if it were to have gotten approved in the first 6 months of the proposal, like that would really been unprecedented. So there is kind of a precedent for these ETFs taking a long time to get approved. However, I do believe that the reason why it takes a long time is just because of what you said, is because there's people behind the scenes. Crypto Daily, maybe a lot of you guys know him. He's actually the person that I started watching first, and kind of based my channel off of his and things
Okay.
like that. We've got kind of similar sense of humor. People will tell you he's funnier than me, but they're lying. But he said it really good one time, really well, when he said, kind of what happens with the institutional money is that usually if an opportunity passes you, right? Like if crypto comes and it passes you, you miss the opportunity. But the institutional money, like they have so much money, if the train leaves the station, they
Okay.
have the ability to kind of lasso the train and pull it back to the station. And that's kind of what we're seeing with these institutional investors. I mean, I think for us normal retail investors that aren't like, in the financial world, I'm not a stock trader, financial advisor, none of that stuff. For us, that kind of blows our mind that they would have the ability to do that. And for us, it's not good for the institutional investor to come in. It kind of is not the point of crypto. However, it's kind of the elephant in the room we can't get around, like
Wow.
it's going to happen. So
Wow.
we just got to try to figure out the best way to absorb that and keep the integrity of cryptocurrency, even with these institutional investors coming in that,
Yeah.
don't really care about you or me.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money with that too, and it's a sad shame that basically it's like we're, I guess I got well, first I'll make a statement, then I gotta have somewhat of a question. But first, huge shout out to Notorious XRP. Notorious says, "BitBoy, welcome to CKJ Crypto News. Buckle up, the best is yet to come." Thank,
Uh-oh.
thank you, big time, Notorious, for the love and support. I really, really appreciate that, bro. Yeah, thank you, big time, BitBoy, for coming on. Like I said, somebody said, "Who's BitBoy?" Like I said, BitBoy is a fellow content creator in the community. He's definitely worth watching. Very funny guy, down to earth, very intelligent. He's definitely worth giving a view. And like I said, guys, he's going to be at the Texas event April 6th. I'll be there. BitBoy will be there. There's going to be a lot of good people there, guys. You don't want to, miss the opportunity to, associate with people that's passionate about crypto like we are. My first question is, do you think this Bitcoin ETF is going to get approved this time? Are they going to continue to delay it? What do you think the chances are of this? And my other
Well,
question, real quick, is what do you think about we're basing this crypto movement on institutional investors. Like this started out, for the people.
mhm.
This is supposed to be like us, ours. But now we're like, oh, okay, well, let's wait for, Fidelity to approve this or Bot to approve this. And, what's your thoughts on all that?
Well, I mean, it depends. I don't think Fidelity is a bad player in the game. I think Fidelity, what they want to do with the custodial service is actually really cool. I mean, if you've got, if you have $1 million in Bitcoin and, you're like a novice, not a novice investor, because if you got $1 million, you probably are an investor, but you have a novice understanding of cryptocurrency, you're not going to really probably understand. It's going to take you a while to figure out the best way to keep that crypto safe. But with something like Fidelity with their custodial service, now, true, you're handing your crypto over to, a financial company, but they're able to lock that away so it's safe. And I know I did a video on my channel probably back in June. I got hacked. I got phished. It was
Whoa.
basically it was from an airdrop. They said they needed a signature from my Ether wallet. I didn't know what a signature was. I mean, if they would have said they need a private key, I would have known, but I didn't know. It was early in the morning. I hadn't even had my coffee yet or my energy drink, I was like, a signature or whatever, I'll give it to him, and it was so stupid. Hadn't done a lot of airdrops. And so I got phished and I lost $2,500. That $2,500 though was really about 10,000 that I had put in.
Damn.
That had gone down, like
Yeah,
it was the market.
exactly.
I put in 10,000. It went down to about 2,500, which right now it's probably worth about, 1,000. But I lost it,
Yeah.
all of a sudden on my Ether wallet, it's gone. So something like that offers a custodial service for bigger investors to keep their crypto safe is pretty good. I think Backed is a really good player that's coming in because they're going to have Bitcoin futures contracts that are settled in Bitcoins, not in US dollars. The ones that were settled in US dollars were all the ones from last year, and those are the ones that tanked the market. So I think that'll be good. And Back is coming out with ways for you to spend crypto. The ETF, I would prefer us not to have it, honestly. I would prefer that not to even be in crypto. I want them to delay it forever. I want this thing to go 5-6 years down the road, and crypto can explode in the meantime. Unfortunately, I just don't think that's going to happen. I do think it will get approved. I don't know if it'll get approved this go round all the way through October, but I will say that since they resubmitted the proposal, right? They had to resubmit the proposal. And so really when April, I think 6 comes around, that'll be 45 days that the SEC has to make an announcement about whether or not they're going to extend the time they want to deliberate or approve it. Like at that point, that's they've already had one full go round with it, and Van Eck pulled the proposal at the very end of that amount of time. So I don't know, like I think it's a possibility it could get approved right now. And if it does not get approved, or if it gets delayed again right here around the beginning of April, I think at that point it will go all the way to October again. So
just a real quick question. What do you think about custody, institutional custody anyway? And then we'll jump into the next article. I don't want to delay. I did realize you said, as far as Fidelity or Box having, custody, how do you feel about the institution is holding your crypto? Like you said, you think it's a good thing versus some of the other scams going on out there, basically, I think I heard you say.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Can we trust the banks to do the right things? Can we trust institutions to do the right things? Probably not. However, the way that banks use our money, which, the next story we're going to talk about is the Swiss bank UBS getting fined $5.1 billion for money laundering.
Okay.
So we can't really trust what they're doing with our money, but for the most part, we can trust the banks and the institutions to be able to take care of our money. So they might be charging you crazy fees. They may be taking your money and loaning it to somebody else and making interest off of it. But when you go and you need your money, they're going to give you your money. There may be a problem. Like if you want to go withdraw $20,000 from your bank, they may say, "Oh man, well, it's going to take us 7 days to get it." But eventually you're going to get that money.
Okay.
If your bank account gets hacked, for the most part, the bank is going to give you back your money.
Yeah, it's insured.
Right? It's insured. So, I mean, I think in that regard, you can trust Fidelity as a custodial service or some of these other custodial services. The end game is probably going to be safe. What happens in the middle? Are they taking your crypto and trading it and trying to make more money on it? And then when you ask for crypto, they take it somewhere else, maybe, so.
Exactly. I'm with you on that. So what were you saying about the UBS hack?
Well, no, it wasn't a hack. It's a fine. So UBS is a large Swiss bank, and this is very interesting. So they got fined $5.1 billion.
Whoa, billion.
Yeah. Most of it in euros, the equivalent to that in euros, because it is a Swiss bank. Some of it in US dollars. But, the crazy thing about this story is that the bank, UBS, they've denied everything. They were actively laundering money. The bank had set up an elaborate scheme so that a bunch of organized crime individuals could come in there. It's almost like something you would see on Breaking Bad, like a backroom deal. Somebody comes in to a bank and says, "Hey," like they're just upfront about it. Like, "I got all this money I need to launder." And the bank says, "Okay, we want that money in our bank, so let's figure out a way to help you launder it."
Okay.
And that's what happened with this. That would be like if you live in America, that would be like you finding out Wells Fargo does that, or which wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Wells Fargo or Bank of America or BB&T, whatever you use. It's just absolutely crazy, like how crypto has a bad name. When you've got banks that don't seem to have a bad name.
Yeah.
And yet you got to think about it like this: if they got fined $5.1 billion, how much money were they laundering? Because those fines are usually slaps on the wrist. So that's probably only a fraction of all the money that actually went through that bank.
Yeah, matter of fact, that's a hell of a point. I never really thought about that. Like you said, they probably laundered them $1 trillion because if they got fined 5 billion, but yeah, basically these institutions and so many people say, oh, crypto's a scam and it's used for illegal activity, but they got a fine, that's bigger than 10 crypto institution market cap within itself. It's like, hold on, what's really going on here? And yeah, so they don't have. People are starting to realize they don't have a leg to stand on as far as, the accusations that, okay, crypto is mainly used for money laundering when basically money is used for money laundering even more.
Yeah.
So
cash is the number one thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That criminals use. Cash is much less traceable than Bitcoin. There was a crazy story a couple months ago about these guys that did this thing called Project Good Sam. Was basically or Good Samaritan. Basically what they were doing, it happened in my city. I live in Atlanta, and they shut the Atlanta government down and held the government's databases ransom for Bitcoins.
Wow.
And the U.S. government was actually able, through this like large web of addresses and cold storage wallets, were able to track down the exact two guys that were doing it. They were from Iran, two Iranian guys.
Wow.
Yeah, and they actually doxed them. They put their names out. They said, these addresses are associated with these individuals. If we ever see you sending money to these people, you're going to be in big trouble. So, yeah, Bitcoin is not traceable, but cash is 100% untraceable.
Exactly. I think you're right on the money with that. Wow, that's a really good point there. That's for sure. What they say, Switzerland is money laundering heaven, from what I'm understanding. But they're getting into crypto big time, so I guess we're going to see what happens with that. So basically, guys, if you're just tuned in, really quick, we got a special guest on the show, BitBoy today. What up, Rasta God, Josh, YP Shorty, Carl? You got a new logo. Thank you guys for sticking around, tuning in. Smash some thumbs up. I really appreciate it. We got BitBoy on the show. On his show, he normally does the top five news articles of what's going on in the world of crypto. I think we're on number 2. We're going to go to number 3, I believe.
Number 3. Yeah, we're on number. Yeah, well, we're counting down backwards. So we did 5, 4. Now we're on 3.
Okay, so we count backwards.
Go to the most important story of the day, which everybody will love.
Okay, everybody's going to love the most important story of the day. So we did 5, we did 4. So I guess now we're moving along to 3. And it looks like we got BitBoy's link in the stream if you want to check out BitBoy. That's for sure.
Awesome. Well, cool. So number 3 story I want to talk about. I thought this was really interesting for you guys that have followed the Quadriga exchange. I know almost everybody in crypto knows about Quadriga because I've gotten questions from people that aren't in crypto about Quadriga. So this story definitely has had a lot of legs. A lot of people, including myself, for the most part, believe that it's an exit scam. The founder faked his death, or there's something going on under the surface that we're not seeing. And so very interesting. We just had the Coinbase CEO, Brian Armstrong, speak out, and he spoke for Coinbase. So he says, this is what we believe, to the best of our knowledge, happened. So basically what he was saying is, if you look at the Quadriga, finances, you'll see that customers have had problems making withdrawals since last year. Whoa. So this goes back before the founder died and all this stuff. And so basically what Brian Armstrong said is he believes what happened is that he thinks the CEO really did die. He thinks that he died. But the company itself, Quadriga, used his death as a way to basically cover up the fact that they didn't have all the money to pay all their customers.
Wow.
Yeah. And so they were able to say, oh, he died. We don't have the private keys. But yet we have evidence in form of a CoinDesk article from 2015 or 16, whichever year it was, saying that they use a multi-sig private key system. So that would mean that basically what that means is multiple people would have access, not just the founder. So I don't know. I thought it was really interesting that we got, Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, which is, second biggest exchange, I believe, right behind Binance, saying that, putting the company's thoughts out about what really is going on with that exchange. So I thought that was really super fascinating. And, what he had came to, the decision on what he thinks has happened, I thought was also pretty fascinating.
So I think I read about that hack, guys. If you're not familiar, what he's talking about is the hack with pretty much they're saying that they got hacked and lost everybody's money.
Well, no, it's
Oh
not.
no,
It's
they
not a
can't
hack.
access the. They can't access
Yeah.
the. They're trying to say the owner was the only one. Well, the original story was the owner is the only one with the private key, so they can't
Right.
access the crypto.
Yes.
But then there's stories coming out that he might not actually have died. Now, have they confirmed his death legitly yet, or are we
Well,
still
it's
unclear
sketchy,
about that?
man. It's really sketchy. So, he died. I feel like I've talked about this story so much. It's so crazy. There's so much to it, you know. Well, basically, what happened is he got married
Okay.
very end of November. Okay.
Okay.
Right after he got married, he created a will, signed over all of his stuff to his wife, which is very interesting that it
Yeah,
happened
like
that
weeks
quick.
before or something.
Yeah, like it just a couple weeks. And then like within the first 2 weeks of getting married, he goes on a trip to India.
Okay.
And the trip to India was to go help open orphanage. Okay.
Okay.
Now, here's where it gets really crazy: is the orphanage. It's like plug and play. I mean, it's not like he had to go build it. It's basically a company. I think it's called Angel's House. Maybe it's something like
Okay.
that. Where what you can do, where it's a nonprofit, you can pay them $25,000 and they'll open up an orphanage. They'll do everything and then they'll just put your name on it. Like you don't have to go.
Okay.
So he goes over to India. While he was in India, he dies of Crohn's disease, which he had had. He had been diagnosed at age 24 with
Okay.
Crohn's disease. The average lifespan of that is 58. So the guy's 30.
Okay. He's 30.
Nobody. He's 30. So
Okay,
average lifespan
nah.
is
Something's
58.
not
Right?
right.
It's supposed to
Something's
be
not
30.
right.
You're right. It's supposed to be 30. Now, so he dies of Crohn's disease, complications from it, and they say that well, in India, India is known for being a country very friendly for people that want to fake their own death. Why would someone want to fake their own death? Well, a couple reasons. Number one would be tax evasion. If you owe a bunch of taxes, you want to fake your own death.
Yeah.
Number two would be insurance. If you want to do it for that reason. Number three would be if you're a criminal, and you've got charges against you and you want to disappear. And so in India, you can actually purchase a death certificate for $450. So what was very interesting is the death certificate, his name was even spelled wrong on it. So his name is Gerald Cotton, Cotten, but the death certificate had it Cotton.
What?
So yeah, there's a lot of super fishy stuff with it, and I'll still be surprised if he really is dead, honestly, at this point. Or if he is, I've said this before as well. If he is dead, it's foul play 100%. I mean, it's one or the other. There's no way that all of these weird coincidences, tie together, and he just randomly went over there and died of a disease that people don't die of at that age. So.
I think you're right on the money with that. I mean, come on. So I didn't know all the details. YP Shorty says he's not dead. What up, Rasta God? Florin guy.
This guy said, who was it that said this? John Red said, I'm like Mulder and Fox on this. I think he's talking about X-Files. He thinks I'm X-Files on the Quadriga. Like I'm investigating it that hard.
Yeah, nah, actually, believe it or not, he's kind of right about that, bro, because I went into the story, but it looks like you got all the details on that one.
Yeah, I did a pretty long video on it.
Oh, okay, no wonder. I had no idea the dude died. You're saying he died in India.
Yes.
He went to India, then died. I mean, come on, bro. He's like left the country, then died. I mean, that something's not right with that. He probably built a palace over there.
Something's not right, and so I don't know if what Brian Armstrong is saying is true, that maybe they were already insolvent and they used his death to cover it up. That would kind of tell me that, maybe some people in the company had a reason maybe to off him, so.
Yeah. Okay. You're
So
saying because other people had access to the keys, come to find out, maybe.
Well, I don't know if they have access to the keys or not, but that, maybe they knew that if he died and they could blame it on the keys, then, maybe they wouldn't get sued for not having all the money. They can blame it on something logical.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, there's something fishy as hell about that. So we got pretty much everybody in the everybody in the chat agrees with you on this one, bro. Like something's fishy about that. JP Crypto said, "Don't give CKJ any ideas." YP, he's not dead. I got her insurance from Carl. What up, Carl? Dan Ski, he's hanging with Elvis. Makai Jones, he's with Elvis in the Caymans. I think, yeah. And towards the end of the show, guys, we are too going to take questions, comments from the stream and everything, see what everybody has to say. What up, Rasta Guy? Good to see you, bro. So far, guys, like I said, we're going through BitBoy's top 5, and then we went through 5, 4, 3. Now we're gonna move on to topic number 2.
Yeah, topic number 2 is super interesting as well. I mean, pretty interesting stories today. If you guys don't know, the Samsung Galaxy S10, there's been some screenshots and different stuff released from the new version of the Galaxy that's coming out, and it's going to have a blockchain wallet on the phone installed when you get it. So, and it's got weapons grade security, is the article that I was reading. But there were 2 things about this story that I found super fascinating. Number one, they're refusing to call it a crypto wallet.
Okay.
They're only calling it a blockchain wallet because they said that the way that the outside view, outside of crypto people view the word crypto is not favorable. So they want to call it a blockchain wallet, which I thought was crazy. But number 2, I thought this was the even more interesting thing, is the article that I read, brought up a good point, which is if Samsung is doing this, how long is it going to be before that forces Apple's hand to have to do it? And if you guys, I think a lot of people might be surprised to know this. You've got Amazon, you've got Google, you've got Facebook, you got Microsoft. These are all companies that we think of when we think of the biggest companies in the world, but Apple is the biggest company in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is the number 1 company. So if it adds a blockchain wallet to its iPhone, that would be absolutely insane. I don't know when the next version of iPhone is coming out. I don't know if it'll be on the next version, but you can bet your bottom dollar or your bottom Satoshi in the next couple of versions of the iPhone. We'll definitely probably get one with a blockchain wallet on it. So what do you want to carry some crypto on your blockchain wallet on your phone?
Man, I'm not really sure about that. I haven't looked into that too much deep, but Carl says Apple won't be far behind. And I think you made a good point like that. If you got Samsung coming out, with that technology, once you start seeing big name institutions like that getting involved with, with this whole entity of crypto and blockchain, I mean, to me, that's just a good sign. To take it back to, like you said, when you first started, you started in the bear market. But, when I first started, basically, in December, basically that's when Jamie Dimon was, screaming crypto's a scam and this was a Ponzi and that's, this is fraud and fraud this, fraud that, versus to where we are now, where we got like Samsung creating blockchain wallets. We got box heads are coming out. We got Jay Clayton, SEC chairman, who gave clarity to, Bitcoin, Ethereum not being securities. And just that alone in itself, to get, word from the SEC, where crypto's standing today versus, how it started with just, as a parody token buying pizzas, it goes to show you just the direction we're going. It's like, wow, like we truly are here to this party early and we are pioneers in this movement. And I'm telling you, like Samsung, Apple, blockchain, everybody get involved. More, more the merrier. That's basically how I look at that scenario. That's for sure.
It's all coming down the pipes. It's just a matter of time. And, I'd say it's a lot. People used to think back in December of last year that we were, if you were just getting into crypto, that you were too late, But the fact is now this market has really reversed that.
Wow.
And you're still early. We're way early.
I see Matt Reichter, huge supporter of my channel. Thank you big time, Matt. I sent your confirmation in your mug too, Matt. Did you get that? He says, how about the Finny phone from Siren Labs? And I'm hearing a lot of stuff about maybe the Pundi X phone. I haven't really done much research on Pundi at all, but I do hear something about blockchain. I mean, do you know anything about the Finny phone or the Pundi blockchain situation?
Yeah, so the Finny phone will probably fail. If I were to guess. So if you don't know much about Siren Labs, they basically produced a phone for celebrities and mega millionaires. It was I think the phone was $15,000.
What?
Yeah, it was like $15,000, $10,000 or $15,000. Brad Pitt and Tom Hardy, or no, it was Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy, I think, promoted it. What? And it did pretty well at first. This would have been, probably about 7 or 8 years ago. It did pretty well at first. And then it totally flopped and failed because the market couldn't really sustain it. And unfortunately, I kind of see the same thing going on with the Finny phone. It's pretty expensive. I can't remember exactly what the price tag is on it. Maybe $5,000. But it it's super expensive, whatever it is. Maybe it's only 1,200. I can't remember. But the fact is they're probably going to sell a lot at the very beginning to those diehard crypto people that want to be in on it. But eventually we're going to have Samsung, Apple, all of these larger companies that, like, I don't want to switch my iPhone. I never want to, like, some people like Samsung. I like iPhone. I've been on iPhone for, 10 years or whatever it is, and I'm comfortable with it. I know how to use it.
Okay.
And I'm going to stick with it. So when they come out with a blockchain wallet, then, I don't know for security reasons if I'll use it, but I certainly wouldn't use, go get another phone just because it had a blockchain wallet on it. So
I agree with you there. I think Josh says, Josh always has a good knowledge in the stream. What up, Josh? Josh says, X Phone, Siren Labs, HTC, Samsung, lots of blockchain phones coming. And Crypto Lemon says, Pundi, X, Finny. We got a lot of feedback in here. A lot of feedback from the chat. I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you for commenting and getting involved. I really, really appreciate that. That's for sure. So basically, guys, I think, the news, the point of that story is basically everybody's getting involved in crypto, guys. We are, some say we are early to the party. I say it's good to be a pioneer. I believe the opportunities are knocking. That's for sure. That's for sure. What up, boo-boo? I can't live without my iPhone. YP Shorty, I'm not storing my cryptos on no phone except in my Tipbot. I'm with you on that, YP. That's for sure. Okay, guys. So like I said, guys, we got a special guest on the show. Rasta Guy, good to see you. Guys, BitBoy does, what's it called? The top 5?
Fresh five.
Fresh five, guys. We're doing the Fresh 5 top topics of crypto. What's going on in the world of crypto? We did 5. We did 4, 3, and I believe we're on 2.
No, now we're on 1.
Oh, we're on number 1. Okay, guys.
1.
Sin City.
The top number 1 crypto story of the day. $1 million Bitcoin coming.
Larry Las Vegas. Oh, $1 million Bitcoin.
$1 million Bitcoin, which I will say before I even really get into the story, I agree with 100%. And I agree with the reasoning. I agree with one thing that was said in the article I've said for a long time now. I don't know when it's coming. I don't know if it's 5 years. I would like to think probably 5 years. Some people would think in 2021 we'll get up to 300,000, and that would kind of put us on track to by 2023, 2024, maybe get up to 1 million. But definitely within 10 years, I believe it will be. There's so many reasons to believe it. If you want to believe that, Bitcoin's going to go the way of a currency that people exchange for value and can overtake, can become the currency of several countries in the world, then I think it will get there. If you don't believe that and you think it's going to be more of an asset and you think it's going to be just like gold and like a store of value, then it's way better than gold. We know the supply and everything like that. So I think $1 million Bitcoin, I've said for a long time, is definitely in the cards. So this is from Jesse Lund. He is the VP of blockchain for IBM. And if you don't know IBM, if you don't know IBM's involvement with crypto, they are a partner with Stellar. So IBM, you may have seen some IBM blockchain commercials on TV. I've seen a couple of those as well. So IBM, there is a commercial where it talks about blockchain technology. Maybe the one with Common where he talks about AI. Maybe he says something about blockchain. But regardless, IBM has a large blockchain department. Jesse Lund, their VP, he said that he believes that Bitcoin will be $1 million. Excuse me. And he says that, and this is something I agree with. This is what I was referring to. He says that once Bitcoin gets to $1 million, the volatility will stable off. And I agree with that as well. Once Bitcoin is $1 million, each Satoshi is the equivalent of what we know now as 1 penny. So I think that would be a really easy kind of conversion to kind of understand the value. Like if I say, okay, well, how much is a Satoshi worth? And you say, well, it's worth about 1/30th of a penny, or whatever it might be. I have no idea, 1/100th of a penny. Like it's hard to even wrap your mind around like what is that, But if I say for every Satoshi, it's worth a penny, like you can wrap your head around that, So I do think that's where it's going. But it was very interesting to see a guy who is a high power VP of one of the largest companies in the world that is very bullish. I think their IBM is top 5 in blockchain patents.
Wow.
As well. So, when you see these respected people that aren't out there just like trying to get clicks by saying crazy predictions, it gives it a little more credibility. So I thought that was definitely a pretty cool story.
Well, I think in the chat here, actually, believe it or not, you got some people that I'm gonna give a shout out to Crypto Justin. He says, I hope so. Crypto Justin, he's deep in crypto. Crypto Cast, he's throwing up the money sign. Notorious. Crypto Kev says $1 million BTC would make my freaking day. Who else we got in here? I think I need a shirt and a hat, Rasta God. Fidelity has 69 million customers, so 1 million is possible. IBM bought the red hat. I'm just trying to get some feedback from the chat. No, basically, I think you made a kind of a good point on there. YP says, great, now I'm going to buy a Bitcoin. I mean, I talk about it all the time, guys. As far as, I think you made a really good topic there. I'm going to have to throw this in there. It's like, far as in, we got the XRP Tipbot. And basically, one XRP is when we can send, pretty much in the community, we send XRP tips back and forth to each other. I'm not sure if I sent you a tip or not yet. But in one XRP, it's 1 million drops. So basically, like when I send XRP, I can break it down 0.589, which is like 500,000 drops. And so basically, I can see what direction you're going as far as, okay, if Bitcoin is worth 1 million, then each Satoshi is going to be a penny. So I think that's a really creative way to actually start breaking it down too. And basically, you can kind of like, especially start as we're using these cryptos for more transactions and money wise or store value or purchases or sending money. It kind of like breaks it down, in a really, really, really good way. That's for sure. So, me personally, with the supply, I always say Bitcoin is like the first in, it's the poster child for the movement. We got Fidelity and Bach. I mean, they're talking about Bitcoin ETFs and Bitcoin. Then we got the top 10. I think a lot of people are going to buy into Bitcoin just like, for example, I found crypto because of Bitcoin, and then basically I didn't know there was more cryptos. And then, so then when I, start checking the price, I found CoinMarketCap. And then that leads me to, there's more cryptos. There's Tron, there's XRP, there's, XLM. And you just find all these different cryptos. But like just for name recognition alone, I think there's no telling what the price of Bitcoin is going to be in the future, especially with the low supply. I mean, 22 million, I believe. And they're saying
21 million.
21 million and like 4 million of them got lost.
I mean, we won't get to 21 million until 2140. So
I thought they said the block size is going to be exhausted or something in 4 years or something like that.
No. It's it'll slow way down. So they say 2140 is when the last Bitcoin will be mined. And honestly, by 2140, Bitcoin won't be around anymore. So, I mean, that's 117 years from now. The average life expectancy of, like, let's say it were to replace the U.S. dollar as kind of the world currency standard for the Federal Reserve. The average currency lasts about 70-ish years.
Okay.
As that, so we look at 117 years. The quantum computers will have solved private keys, and we'll be on to things way beyond that. But right now, I think we're sitting at about 18.3 million Bitcoins in circulation. That's a guess. I think it's 18.3. And, like you said, at least 4 million. Some people put the number around 4.5 million. It really depends on if you count the million Bitcoins that Satoshi has or lost. So, I mean, we're really looking at a supply right now of around 14 million. So there's not enough Bitcoins in the max supply for every millionaire in the world to own a Bitcoin. So that stat blows me away. There's more than 21 millionaires in the world.
Yeah, exactly. So that's insane if you really think about it. And I'm gonna have to go off what XRP Angel said. We've all heard that there's how many customers you say Angel was? Like 69 million customers of Fidelity.
It's a lot.
Yeah, there's lots of coins too. One thing, the main reason I actually want to have BitBoy on the show is just basically, guys, we're all going to Texas April 6th, and I've had Bitcoin been on the show, and I've been watching BitBoy lately. He's really knowledgeable about other projects. 69 million, thank you big time, Carl. My thing is, guys, you know, one thing, have you heard like the 5 phases of investing as far as emotions? Like, I think I seen Crypto Bitcoin Chris talking about it the other day, where, you know, you got excitement and anger and depression and so, you know, a lot of people really get emotionally involved in crypto, or, you know, tribalism or anything like that. You know, at the end of the day, it's like, whoa, these opportunities out here are endless. Like, I want to gain as much knowledge as, you know, personally about everything going on. Because, you know, everybody says, oh, I wish I, you know, heard about Bitcoin when it was $100, or I wish I heard of XRP when it was just a penny. You know, guys, if we do our research and stay on top of it, you know, mingle within all the communities, we can be on top of the next Bitcoin, or, you know, the next great digital currency, XRP, or, you know, or whatever's behind, you know, because, you know, basically we are pioneers in this movement, that's for sure. Yep, he does UFC. He's the former heavyweight champion of the UFC, BitBoy.
That's right.
Somebody said, does he do UFC?
Maybe heavyweight popcorn eater.
He said heavyweight popcorn eater.
But yeah, man. But you know, I agree that what you said. I mean, there's a couple points really to hit on there. You know, the thing about it is, so I got into Bitcoin in 2012. So my first Bitcoins I bought were $12.
Damn.
And so I sold all of mine pretty early on. I made a few $1,000s. You know,
Okay.
I did pretty well. That was after I was buying them to spend at the time, not on Silk Road. It wasn't drugs.
It's the first thing I thought too.
I know everybody thinks that. So like, if you say like, oh, I was in Bitcoin in 2012, like everybody's like, oh, you were getting high. No, I wasn't getting high. So yeah, I've been sober for like 13 years. That's another story for another day. But
okay, congratulations.
It was a computer software, and so I had some, you know, extra laying around after I bought it. All of a sudden it, you know, blew up, and I had thousands of dollars. I cashed out. So, you know, part of the reason what drives me in the space to really educate people on cryptocurrency is the fact that I really missed out on an opportunity to be a mega multimillionaire. I did the math the other day, and it was like, you know, $300 million I should have right now.
Whoa.
Yeah, but I sold out for like $3,000, you know? So I don't want people to make that same mistake that I made.
Exactly.
Before, and the fact that, you know, 6 years or 7 years later now, we're still early in this game, you know, and the reason why I sold out is because I didn't understand what it was. I knew I had to have it to buy the software, and so I bought it and I let it sit there. It was interesting. I watched it throughout all the years. You know, I watched it go up and down. You know, I've gambled with it before, you know, on different sports betting websites and poker websites and things like that. So I've stayed really attached to it, but wasn't really huge investing in the middle years there. And I missed that opportunity. So if I would have understood really what it was and the technology and the story behind it and the decentralization movement, then I wouldn't have missed out, you know? So that's what that's what I try to do on my channel is, you know, talk about news kind of in that context. So
wow, I think we're right on the same page too. Exactly. It's just like missing an opportunity. Quick poll in the chat, really quick, guys. If you can type when you got into crypto, I agree with Lemon. What Lemon say? XRP will overtake easy market this year. Everybody's saying, guys, who's going to be the best? I believe there's going to be a lot of fluctuation in the market. XRP, BTC. Man, we might even see Dogecoin come out of nowhere. Who knows? Nah, I doubt Doge. Yeah. Big Pat's a big Doge fan.
Got a big community.
That's the thing about Doge. They got like the biggest community. And that's what's weird about crypto. Doge has like one of the biggest communities. And the coin, you know, originally started as a parody coin. And it's like people support Dogecoin. So basically, guys, can you type in when you got into crypto? Was it 15, 13, 18, 17? Let's just see.
We got somebody saying 1942. Which is probably around the time cryptography was actually created. So,
so we got J Currency, October 2018. Ernest Green, June 18. Okay, Comic Rabbit, what up, fam? Carl, Boo Boo says 9/18. Okay, November 2. Damn, so Alex says 2016. 6 months and I'm addicted. Easton, Eric, welcome to this digital currency movement, bro. Good to have you. XRP Millionaire 2018, Carl 2016, Sin City June 18. Welcome, bro. I really appreciate that. Yeah, that's the biggest thing too, guys. And we were talking about that last night too. I was like, basically, you know, some people say, okay, I'm gonna hold. But like, say for example, you know, if I was using XRP as an example, it shot up to $10. How many people would really hold? Just like, you know, you have Bitcoin. Once it shot up to this amount of money, you know, that's like money sitting there in your face. Are people are actually gonna really be able to hold, hodl? I mean, I hope so. I hope so. You know, go ahead.
I was gonna say you got to be smart though. I mean, like now that I'm really super active and engaged in the market and you know in the community and things like that, like and really starting to understand, you know, market cycles. Like, yeah, you don't need to just hodl. I mean, when the price goes up and you go on a bull run, you sell, and then you buy back when it dips back down. So that's by far the smarter move.
Okay. So is that what you recommend? What's your motto on that?
Yeah,
really, sure. Hold on. Shout out to DM. He says 2017 when you were in the car doing videos. Thank you big time, bro. Yeah, so what is your motto? When it goes up, basically, you know, maybe sell, not financial advice. When it goes up, you know, maybe sell a percentage, dump it, move in when it's lower. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
I mean, will it go back down to where they can get back in, or, you know, should they just hold? Or let's hear BitBoy's theory.
So it really depends. If you're a person who's really new to crypto, you should just hold. You know, hodl as we say. You know, that's what you should do if you're new. If you haven't been through a market cycle yet, that's what you should stick to for right now, right? Especially while the market is down. However, you know, as the price goes up, people start to get euphoric. And once you start feeling euphoric on how high the price is and you feel like it'll never ever come down, that's probably when we need to sell. You know, so because and here's, you know, here's why you might want to do that. So your you know, your trades are taxable. So if you're trading at all, those are taxable events, you know. So what it is an advantage to if you hodl, then it's not a taxable event. So, you know, that's definitely something that, you know, if that's the strategy you want to take. However, if you look back at the price from 2017 and Bitcoin was at $20,000 basically, and now it's sitting at 3, I mean, how much smarter would it have been to sell at the top and then rebuy at 3? You know,
wow,
it's hard to pick the highs and lows. What my strategy is, you know, trade as many altcoins as I can to continue to increase the amount of Bitcoins that I have. You know, so there's a lot of misinformation out there about people make blanket statements and they take things out of context. So Bitcoin is down, or at its low point, it was down about 85%, I believe.
Okay.
When it got down to 3170. You look at something like, you know, Verge or, you know, I'm not saying Verge is a good one. I'm just saying something like Verge or Icon. Icon is a good one. So let's say Icon was down 97%.
Icon.
At some point when it dipped down. It was down 97%. So people say, oh, well, you just would have been better off to hold Bitcoin than to trade altcoins, because if you're at Bitcoin, you'd be down 85%. If you were holding Icon, you'd be down 97%. But what that doesn't factor in is it doesn't factor the how much higher that those altcoins rose, like how many multiples, right? 5x, 10x, you know, whatever. If you would have sold those altcoins at the height, you would have made a lot more money than if you would have just held Bitcoin the whole time. Wow. So, you know, so that's my strategy for this next market run we're going to go on hopefully soon, is to just try and trading altcoins and getting my, you know, the name of the game is getting the most number of Satoshis that you can, you know, like you want your altcoin to go up in Satoshi value because then you have more Bitcoins. So that's strategy for most people. I mean, Bitcoin's obviously the safest cryptocurrency. It's been around for 10 years now. So it's passed what they call the Lindy test, which means that it's got an incredible chance to go another 10 years. Okay. No other cryptocurrency's done that yet. So wow. That's my strategy on trading. I also do short-term trades too. Like I got in on the BitTorrent token sale, made a pretty good bit on that because I knew it was going to go up when it went on Binance. Okay. So, you know, I'll do some short-term trades as well, but then I try to once I get some profits, I'll, you know, sell out. Like I took some of my profits from BTT, and when, you know, my wife got a new car, I went and put a down payment on, you know, took some of those profits out. Damn. And went and got a new car. You know, I didn't pay for the new car all at once. I mean, I'm not rich, you know, but I was able to put a pretty nice chunk down, and that was refreshing to know that I started the payments for the car with money that I made on a crypto trade.
Damn, so, that's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. Plus, I think you did a 10,000 giveaway on BTT tokens too, right?
I actually ended up doing 36,000.
Whoa, okay,
Yeah,
did 36,000. Yeah, because I remember I
yeah.
seen the tweet and I retweeted it for you. And that's when I was telling people about it. I said, hey, BitBoy is doing a giveaway, BTT. I retweeted it, and that's when I first started talking about you. But I think the sentiment in the community has really, really changed. I see a lot of people saying, take profits. I've seen a few good comments in here. Take profits. Who said that? Somebody said, okay, Thomas said take profits. YP Shorty said something. Carvids, I remember. Thank you guys, I appreciate that. Speedy Gonzalez, EOS is great. Verge got hacked again. Okay, damn.
Today?
No, I think somebody wrote that in the comment. But believe it or not, that's one thing I kind of like noticed too is I came down hard on it's 25% more than 12% up. One thing I kind of came down hard on Charlie Lee when he dumped all his Litecoin at the peak. And, I kind of like been debating on that lately, like, damn, well, hold on, did he do the smart thing? Because, he took the profits when it was, like, way up. But at the same time, by him dumping all of his Litecoin, it's like, what's going on here? But, like I said, I think people should, like, with the way the market fluctuates, it looks like a lot of people, I can't find all the comments now, but a lot of people said, hey, ain't nothing wrong with taking a little bit of profits off the top. And I think maybe people are starting to get more and more familiar with crypto and, different options as far as, okay, I'm going to get rid of, 20% or 10% of this right here. So I dumped when I saw that too.
So very interesting about Charlie Lee and selling his Litecoin. So he said he sold them all, right, because he wanted to step away from being the, face of Litecoin. He said he wanted to decentralize it, basically. But here's something I find very interesting, and this is why I think a $333,000 Bitcoin on this next bull run is a very likely scenario. That prediction was made by Bobby Lee, not the Mad TV guy who has a podcast. Some of you guys may remember him, the short Asian guy from Mad TV.
Yeah.
But Bobby Lee is actually Charlie Lee's brother, and he's a Wall Street guy, and he's predicted a $333,000 Bitcoin on this next run. Now, he says it won't come until the early 2021 is when we'll get there, which isn't what everybody wants to hear. But I think it's very interesting because you got to think that Bobby Lee and Charlie Lee were communicating, and I don't think it's a coincidence he sold at the exact top. It seems like maybe the two brothers there,
okay,
were, in cahoots is probably not the right phrase because that makes it seem like they're doing something wrong, but they're sharing information. And I think Bobby Lee might have been the brains behind Charlie Lee selling at that point. So when he talks about a $333,000 Bitcoin on the next run, I've taken that as probably the most serious prediction I've heard. So.
Wow. I think you're around the money with that as far as maybe the brothers being in cahoots, so to say, and manipulation. Believe it or not, and this is what I tell people all the time. Right now, guys, we're in an unregulated market. There's not even really no rules to what's going on. So these guys are doing insider trading, market manipulation right in front of our face, and they're not going to be, they're not going to get in trouble just because there's really no regulation. I mean, I've seen that. I've done videos where, some of Coinbase's new listings, when they listed, or they talked about Civic. Civic. What was the other one? Maybe ZRX. Yeah. And basically come to find out there was a couple board members of Coinbase on ZRX team. And you're the next token listed. Like, come on, bro. Like, we could have saw that coming.
Same thing happened with Litecoin. I mean, Charlie Lee was a Coinbase employee as well.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, damn, I didn't know that. Damn, Charlie Lee's worked at Coinbase, so then Litecoin got listed on there.
So I was one of the first people saying ZRX was going to be the first coin on Coinbase. After now, granted, Ethereum Classic ended up being actually the first one last year that was added. But I said ZRX all year because Coinbase has a history of taking care of their own employees, and so Linda Z, who was worked on Coinbase, was on the board of advisors of ZRX, and so sure enough, that's exactly what happened.
Shout out to Crypto Lemon. I'm CKJ's brother. What's going on, guys? I like to welcome everybody, really, really quick. We got BitBoy on the show. On this show, he does the Fresh Five every day on this show. Basically talks about the top 5, news in crypto. Huge shout out to BitBoy. Huge shout out to the room, DW, Spanish Fly, Call. I'm known for doing like shout outs midstream, bro. I apologize.
No, you're good.
You know, one thing is I tell people all the time, this is live. Like the TV's talking to you, Carl, and Alex, and Crypto Cast, and Crypto Justin always here. I got to show some support to my family. Huge shout out to Crypto Limit, XRP dude. I see you, bro. What's your prediction on when do you think the next bull run is going to happen? And then we're going to take some questions from the room, see if anybody has anything good to say. When do you predict? I mean, I don't know if you do predictions, but people love predictions. When do you think the market is going to turn around and we're going to see some good things happen? Like, do you got any beliefs on that?
Well, I mean, I think there's a chance it's coming very soon. And we're kind of in a spot in cryptocurrency where, you know, even if we get back to 6K, it's going to feel like the moon. You know, like we've been hovering down below between 35 and, you know, or 34 and 39 for so long now. And our one little pump, we got above that. We went to 41 and then we went back down. You know, we can just get to 5,000 or 6,000. Like it'll really feel like we're making progress. And I can kind of see that happening. You know, if you look over the next, you know, the next month where we have a lot of these institutional players, possible ETF decisions, backed Fidelity, we have all these, we could kind of have a perfect storm combined with some, you know, more positive market sentiment to kind of push us up over there. I think the most likely scenario is probably late summer, where we could really start moving up and moving forward. And then, you know, at the beginning of next year is when we'll, you know, start, you know, getting close to approaching all-time highs again. A lot of people think it's going to be the beginning of 2021. I certainly don't want to sit through 2 more years of this. So there's kind of a really bullish scenario, which is March. There's a less bullish scenario, which is late summer, early fall. And then there's kind of the nuclear winter, you know, maybe 2 to 3 more years away. So which one I would say, I just got to go in the middle. You know, I think probably the middle scenario is the most likely, but I'm, you know, you got a lot of these people that say, oh, I want the market to stay down so I can keep buying more. Like I'm ready to move, you know, I'm ready to move forward. Let's go. So
I'm kind of with you on that too. Like basically my motto is, you know, I always tell people, you know, 2018 for me to go down probably is the best year in crypto. You know, even though it was an extended bear market, it was an opportunity for us to increase our position. Because, you know, a lot of people, you know, aren't whales. They can't afford to buy, you know, 1 Bitcoin, right, 10,000 XRP right away. Some people have to pay their bills first and they accumulate a little bit over time. So that extended bear market, I've been telling people, hey, it's going to go down. It's like, damn, remember when 2018 you had an opportunity to increase your position? And like I've been saying, 2019, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more developments. We're seeing a lot of big money coming in. We started tying the Kushners and even Jay-Z to Robinhood and, you know, Donald Trump with the executive order, revamping the financial system, caused Ripple by, I think, twice out in there. Oh, my God. I mean, I'm telling you guys, I think there's going to be like a lot of developments coming. But me personally, I don't think we're going to have to wait that long. I think that, like, just from the look of things and the people coming in, I think this is our year. A lot of people in my community saying March, April. I'm leaning towards March, April. But last thing I want to say is me personally, I tell people if it takes this year, next year, which I know people don't want to hear that, but I'm telling you, like, it's going to happen. Like, because this is a new asset class, new opportunity. They came out with, you know, Wyoming passed a law the other day that now we can legally, you know, our crypto is property legally. I think up until a couple days ago, we didn't even own our own crypto. Right. So just more and more laws and regulations are clearing, you know, so I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the future. That's for sure.
It's going to be exciting.
My last quick question too, but I seen now you were saying something about taxes. Now, if you're saying if you bought Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum from Coinbase and you sent that to Binance, are you saying that since you traded that from Coinbase, then that's going to be taxable?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. And if you trade, you know, I know your community likes XRP. If you buy Bitcoin on
XRP,
Coinbase,
baby.
if you buy Bitcoin on Coinbase, you send it to Binance. That's one taxable event. Then you have to trade your Bitcoin that you just sent over there for XRP. That's another taxable event. It's the same money being taxed twice. So, I think they're going to have to simplify the laws over the next couple of years. And I also think if you're a retail investor and, you've got less than, $5,000 in crypto, I don't think you probably have too much to worry about. I think it'll all get straightened out. The laws will get, straightened out when more people are trading crypto. So, yeah, you got to be careful about the taxes. And that's why people got in so much trouble in 2017. They made so much money. And at the end of the year, they had to declare all those crypto trades that they made. So there was a story. There was a story of a guy who started with $5,000, traded it all the way up to $800,000 by the end of 2017.
Wow. I'm gonna throw this. Oh, go ahead. I'm
sorry. He owed $400,000 in taxes.
Wow.
By the end of 2018, his crypto was valued at about $100,000.
Wow.
So
Damn.
he didn't even have enough to cover his taxes. So
wow.
And I got to run in about 2 minutes.
Okay, do you?
I got an interview here. In
okay. All right. Well, basically, I do want to throw this out there. I do see crypto. Loco is free. He says he's an accountant. He basically says that basically he's not really sure how true that is, and I'm just throwing that out there because I don't want people scared to death. Oh no, I'm gonna owe a lot, and basically like Sherry Thomas says, Token Taxonomy Act could possibly change that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so basically, guys, they're really figuring out what they're going to do with that. But to make a long story short, I believe this is why there has been an extended bear market, because the amount of the money that Wall Street or SEC sees these people making without having to pay tax on that. And that's what the biggest problem is. They want to create laws. They want their cut. Jay Currency is the SEC chairman. He's responsible for IPOs for Alibaba and some of the biggest IPOs we ever had, initial public offering. And basically now they're having ICOs. They want to tax them ICOs, and that's what the problem is. They want their cut, and that's what they're working on right now. My belief is regulation. So it looks like BitBoy's out of time today. Yeah, matter of fact, 11:30. Damn, yeah, actually we went way over an hour, bro.
I got another interview. I got to get the grind.
Well, guys. One thing I want to shout out to everybody that stopped by. XRP Andy, Sherry Thomas, Loco is free. Thank you for that, Loco. Crypto Lemon, you're the man, Lemon. Sherry Thomas, Crypto Pimp, good to see you. Loco, Phoenix. Guys, make a long story short, today we had BitBoy on the show. There's his link right there, guys. You want to check out BitBoy's channel, that's for sure. Very knowledgeable guy on the crypto community. My biggest thing, guys, is April 6th. BitBoy's going to be in Texas at Crypto Communities Unite. Guys, my thing is the tribalism and all that stuff, guys. Like, we're all on a digital currency journey. We're all excited about the opportunities in crypto. And I think we just need to, look around so we don't miss opportunities. That's why, I kind of like did this. Thank you, big time XRP dude. BitBoy, is there anything you want to say to the crypto, Bitcoin, XRP community before you take off, bro?
Yeah, I mean, it never helps to, it always helps to, get as many sources for your information as you can get. So, definitely love for you guys to come check out my channel and things like that. So, I talk a lot about news, we do some reviews and some different things, but, yeah, that's about it. I wish all of you luck with your investments.
Okay. Wow. BitBoy, thank you so much for coming on the show today. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being positive in the chat, guys. I know a lot of people say this, that, whatever. But this community that comes in my stream, I'm telling you guys, it's the best community on YouTube and Twitter. I will put BitBoy's Twitter link in the page, his YouTube link in this video. You guys can check him out. Guys, I will see you tonight on XRP After Dark at 9 p.m. Also, guys, we do Start Your Day with CKJ every day 11:30 a.m. Eastern and XRP After Dark at 9 p.m. EST. And BitBoy does the Fresh 5 on a daily. I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. On behalf of BitBoy and CKJ, okay, hold on. BitBoy, thank you from Ellen. YP, thank you, BitBoy. Thank you, BitBoy from Speedy Gonzalez. Thank you, BitBoy from XRP Angel, Jay Currency. Loco is free. Thank you, guys. All right, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Peace.